when you look at what's happened to the regional offices, when you look at the basic phone service and the lack of ability for people to contact and speak with a human being.
That was Representative Larson on the House floor recently, and he wants a big increase for Social Security benefits. Take a look at his bill right here, the Social Security 2100 Act. He wants to provide an immediate increase of $30 per month. That's $360 more per year with his bill, on top of a change in COLA to give you higher COLA increases. Also have a minimum of 125% above the poverty line benefit, among many others. So I'm going to play that full video clip of what Representative Larson recently said, and we have a Social Security rule change. Take a look at this article right here. Social Security could change eligibility rules, which could block benefits for 750,000 disabled Americans. I'll let you know the latest rule change there that could affect your Social Security. I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates. So, when it comes to the Social Security 2100 Act, this is the bill that Representative Larson has been trying to pass forever. He keeps talking about it. Anytime he talks about increased and enhanced Social Security benefits, this is what he's talking about. A 2% increase across the board, which for the average person would be around $30 more per month. Now, if you may think $30 more per month, that's not really much, but he would change the COLA as well, which would give a higher COLA amount per year as opposed to a measly 2.7%. It could be much higher there. Also, increasing the minimum benefit for long-term low earners. He would make the full retirement age beneficiary would receive a benefit that is 125% of the poverty line. So if you're receiving benefits below the poverty line, he would make it 25% higher than what the poverty line is. So your Social Security checks can definitely go up with this. He has so many other benefits here. I'm not going to go into this video. I've gone over it in the past, but I want to show you that video clip of him, and then we're going to go over this, the Social Security change eligibility rules for disability blocking benefits for 750,000 disabled Americans. Just when you thought things couldn't get worse for Social Security for SSDI, I'm going to read to you that article right there, let you know the latest with that. But first, take a listen to Representative Larson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to discuss something that should alarm every American citizen. Mr. Speaker, as you know, DOGE, or so-called DOGE employees, has been rummaging through people's individual Social Security records. For the general public's awareness, DOGE is so-called the Department of Governmental Efficiency, initially led by Elon Musk, until there was a breakup of the bromance between he and President Trump. But DOGE still persists. And Mr. Speaker, as you know, and it's got to be as much a concern to you as it is to me, having more than 127,000 Social Security recipients in your district, that their information that's private and secure is being rummaged through by 20-somethings who have no accountability, have never been vetted, and who will not come before Congress. I asked Chairman Estes last week in our subcommittee meeting to bring DOGE forward to please tell us what they're doing, rummaging through everyone's personal data and information. Ranking Member Neal and I are going to introduce a resolution of inquiry to bring DOGE before the Congress. Every member, Republican and Democrat, should be concerned about this. every American citizen, if they were aware that DOJ has taken all of that information and stored it in a cloud, AKA another site that's vulnerable that anyone can hack into, and that the Social Security Administration has no access to. No one is allowed to look at that data who hasn't been vetted, as was testified before the Ways and Means Committee last week. So how is it that DOJ employees are exempt? Because they are above the law? It requires the United States Congress to call them in front of us. If they're doing such a great job about efficiency, and if that was their goal, clearly they ought to be able to come before Congress and testify as to what they've found. Mr. Speaker, I think every American should be aware that what's really going on here is an attempt to get at your data and your information and to further attempt to privatize Social Security. That is the end goal. And when you look at the layoffs that have occurred at the Social Security Administration, when you look at what's happened to the regional offices, when you look at the basic phone service and the lack of ability for people to contact and speak with a human being, it should astound and awaken every single American. I hope that all Americans who may be listening to this, I hope that our people in the audience take to heart what's happening with their personal data and information. Why should anyone, let alone unvetted, unaccountable DOJ people, go through your personal records? Why do they need that information? What does that have to do with government efficiency? And why did they steal them and put them in an unsecure cloud that anyone could hack from the outside? This is an abomination, and it needs to be corrected. And it can very easily, by the legislation that we've introduced, calling to make sure that DOJ comes before Congress. Stand up, Republicans. Call them to come before us.
The gentleman's time has expired.
What are your thoughts there on what Representative Larson had to say? All right, so let's get into this. Social Security could change eligibility rules for disability, blocking benefits for 750,000 disabled Americans. I don't know anyone who would want that to happen, but let's get into the details here. The SSA could change the job and age criteria that helps determine disability eligibility, meaning that 750,000 disabled Americans could be unable to get such benefits. So the expected rule change from the SSA would cut eligibility for disability benefits, particularly among older workers, and reduce the size of the Social Security Disability Insurance, also known as SSDI, program. According to a reporter by the Urban Institute, a think tank, excuse me, so it would mark the most significant changes to the disability program in its history, according to Jack Smaligan, saying that the SSA's expected rule change could reduce SSDI eligibility by as much as 20% overall and as much as 30% among older adults. Seems like our most vulnerable people in our society could get a cut here. The changes were under the consideration during the first Trump administration and could be decided by the end of this year. The SSA did not immediately respond to a request for comment, saying to estimate the impact of the changes, the Urban Institute said that by reducing overall SSDI eligibility by 10%, roughly 500,000 people would lose eligibility by the end of a 10-year span, including 80,000 widows and children. Another 250,000 beneficiaries would lose eligibility for some of that 10-year period. The changes would mean about $82 billion in benefits would not be released. The estimate is not the worst case scenario. The impact would be more substantial. So this change hasn't been official yet, but those are the numbers of what can happen. So I'll let you know if there are any official changes coming out, but this could happen by the end of the year. Just wanted to give you a heads up there. I'll let you know if any more updates come out on SSDI. And that is all the news that I have for you today. Excuse me. To hopefully cheer you up a bit, here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
One, go! Fly, the monster breed in the closet, and that race is bleeding. I win. Bye.
There is a big tariff rebate check update where the $600 may not go to Biden voters. Yes, so if you voted for Biden, you may be excluded from those $600 tariff rebate checks. Got more details in this video over here, so click that video now and I'll give you all the details there, and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe, thank you for watching.